I'd like to welcome J.C. Lippold. J.C. is a nationally recognized teacher of movement and mindset, a storyteller, a community leader dedicated to helping people feel supported, feel connected, and maybe most importantly, feel enough. It sounds great to say that word, feel enough. And so, born and raised here in the Twin Cities, J.C. blends mindfulness, wellness, creativity in ways that are accessible to everyone. J.C. is a certified meditation facilitator, founder of initiatives like the 5K Everyday Conversations, and continues to really work and practice enoughness, affirming that each of us is already enough. Please help me in welcoming J.C. Thank you for being here. Couldn't have a better way to start the day. Thanks. Yeah.
Well, good morning, everybody. Like Dr. Cream, I don't like to dive too much into statistics, but there's one number that I always like calling out. Hello, people who are watching online, and hello, people in the room. There's over 500 people who are registered to be courageous and curious in connecting with people that you may not know yet. That's what I like to call strangers, people you don't know yet. So as a person who's not very math savvy, I like this formula. X times x minus 1 divided by 2. 500 people, so 500 times 499 divided by 2. That's how many one-on-one connections are possible in this community today. 124,000 possible. If everybody shook everybody's hand and said, hey, we're here together. It's over 124,000 one-on-one connections. I got to meet Diana, hi Diana, for a hot second, and this is Diana's maybe 14th time being here at the Survivorship Conference. Diana's talking about, it's like being here allows me to stay up to date on information, on the what, the why, the connection, the hope, the clarity, the reality. So for people who may not be in this room because they don't have the capacity or the courage or the curiosity or the energy or the support to walk into this room, Diana can walk out of this room and all of a sudden that 500 becomes 501 or 1,000 or 18 million like Dr. Cream was talking about. So thank you for walking in to amplify those connections today. Here's my formula for life. I lead with appreciation and I assume connection. So I really appreciate me being able to be in this room with you this morning, and I assume that there's something that can happen when we spend time with each other, with our uniqueness, our realities, and all those things. So we're going to do a little exercise to ground in the moment that we're in, so then we can be present with what today offers, knowing that we don't have to be anything outside of what we are. So in the middle of the table, there's a blank piece of 8.5 by 11 paper. If everybody can grab one of those pieces of paper. And then in your goodie bag, there's a pen. If you can take your pen out. And then what I would love for you to do, and if you're at home, also grab a pen and grab a piece of paper. You can also, like if you have a notebook or so and so forth. And then you may not be able to see it, but what I want you to do is turn the paper sideways, the landscape way, all right? And then in the middle of that piece of paper, draw a 1-inch column. So you're going to have three sections on this paper. You're going to have 2 big chunks on the right and left, and there's going to be like a 1-inch column in the middle. This is the only drawing that I'll ask you to do. Ooh, and some of y'all took out your crayons. Yes, crayons. Okay. You can get some color. You can go, if you're a doodler, make this happen through you today, not to you. Right? So if all of a sudden I say, hey, start writing down, and you're like, I'm not a writer, or I'm not a list maker, maybe you take out some crayons and you start drawing some pictures instead. But here's the deal. Okay, I guess I lied. I got one more stat for you. But it's very much in the context of being a not math person. Here's how I think we're supposed to do life. We're supposed to spend like 46% of our time unpacking the past. Thinking about everything that's happened, learning, looking back. So then, the other 46% of the time, the big chunk, we're supposed to look ahead. We're supposed to plan. We're supposed to hope. We're supposed to dream. So 46% of our time we're supposed to spend in the past, 46% of our time we're supposed to spend in the future, which leaves in my brain like 4% of our time to actually be where we are right now. So this exercise is going to invite us to ground into this moment with our gloomy Minnesota Saturday. to be present and going, so what am I thinking about? What am I carrying? No attachment, no judgment. And then to go, okay, so this is where I am. Can everybody take a deep breath in together for a moment? And a breath out. Cool, do it again. This time breathe in. This time risk to be heard on your exhale. Ooh, there you are. Again, breathe in. Risk to be heard on your exhale. If you're at home online, yeah, breathe in, you too. And exhale. And then almost as if you start hearing music in this space, the music of people gathering to one another, I invite you to, on the left-hand column, write down the last thing you did before you got here today. So it may be I parked my car. It may be I got a coffee. It may be I dropped my keys under the driver's seat. Okay, so on the left-hand column, write down the last thing you did before you got here today. And then write down everything that happened before that since the beginning of time. Go. You have 2.5 minutes to fill that left-hand column with everything that has happened before now. Go. That left-hand column, write down memories from minutes ago or decades ago. Maybe big things, maybe little things. Maybe you write down, I was born on March 15th, 1982 at North Memorial Hospital. Maybe you write down, I went to Nicollet Mall when the Twins won the World Series in 1987. Maybe you write down, I had Leanne Chin for supper last night. Maybe you write down, I remember the day I got the phone call that changed my life forever. Continue to focus right now on everything that has happened. Write that down in that left-hand column. Reminisce, remember, mourn, grieve, all of that stuff. Maybe you're a list maker. Maybe you start kind of writing stories. Again, maybe you're a picture drawer. Imagine that box in your closet where you keep all of the ticket stubs and plane tickets. All the memories, all the things that have brought you to where you are right now. That's what you're writing down in that left-hand column. You got 1 more minute to keep filling that column. If all of a sudden you find yourself pause and nothing comes to mind, that's cool. Stay there. Keep thinking, what has happened? What am I carrying that has already been a part of my story? The dates, the people who were there, the lessons learned, the quotes you carry. These are things that have happened. Dust off those memories and fill that column another 15 seconds. Okay, for a moment, finish that last thought, and then put down your pen or your crayon, and then roll out your wrist. Take your thumb and press it into each fingertip, like feel this moment. And roll out your wrist, roll out your neck. And then everybody take a deep breath in. Risks to be heard, exhale. Yeah, do it again, breathe in. And breathe out. All right, pick up that pen or that crayon again. Now we're going to swing to the right-hand column, skip over the middle part, that right-hand column. What's the first thing you're going to do when you leave the U of M today? Write that down. It's like, oh, I have to make it to X by Y. I need to go watch the soccer game. I need to go buy the salad bag. I need to go XYZ. What's the first thing that you're going to do when you leave this space? Okay, then write down everything that's going to happen after that until the end of time. Go. And it's so funny because every time I do this exercise, there's always a chuckle in those moments, but that's where we live. We have to learn from everything that has happened, and we need to plan for everything that will happen. So the beautiful thing right now is you're simply leaning in to that part of your brain, your body, your spirit, your intangibles that say, so what are all the things I need to plan for? Fill that space. Write down your to-do list for the moment after this one. For this evening, for tomorrow, for the rest of April, the next holiday, the next trip, the next goal, the next hope, the next worry, the next fear, the next concern, the next desire. Yeah, there's a lot, because it hasn't happened. Consider the things that are pulling you forward, that are firing your dreams, that are causing you to stress, to fear, to say, I don't know. The things that are going to happen but aren't happening yet. What's that 1-year plan, that 3-year, that 5-year? When this conference started 20 years ago, what was the, in 20 years we will be? Write down those things. This is also that part of your brain and your being that is like the, hey, when you wish upon a star, when you dream your dreams, write down those things. This is also the part of your being and spirit that when you worry your worries and stare your deadlines in the face, your next appointment, your next schedule, your next plan, you got 1 more minute to write down the yet to be's in your life. And over the next 15 seconds, finish that thought, that idea, that whimsy, that reality, whether it's positive or negative or bright or dark. And then pen or crayon down, move the body in a way that's like, oh, yep, I've been very much in this moment. Fingers to thumbs, roll out your neck, your wrist. Acknowledge where maybe your body's going, ooh, my right shoulder has been kind of yelling at me. I just didn't realize it till right now. Okay. We got one more part of this exercise. There's that blank space, that thin space in the middle of your page. Pen up, crayon up. Now, comma, now, period. Now write down the things that are happening right now. What are you thinking about? What are you feeling? What are you doing? What are you carrying with you? And this one may be a, wait, what? It takes a little time to close the aperture of your lens, of your focus enough to go, what is in this moment? It may be like, I'm sitting in a big open space. It may be, I don't like this exercise. Like, it may be like this exercise is making me anxious or nervous, or I'm thinking about things that I haven't thought about for a while. It may be ouch, or hunger, or ooh, my nose itches. I always love saying that and then see if anybody scratches their nose. Okay, nobody did. All right. But in this moment right now, what is true? You have 30 more seconds to fill that thin space in the middle of your page. In 3, 2, 1. Pen down, cran down, big breath in. Hey, big breath out. It's not often we get to breathe with a group of people we don't know yet. Breathe in. Hear one another. 124,000 potential one-on-one connections with people you may know, people you may not know. Flip that page over. You don't need to see anything on that page, but this exercise is derived from a tradition that exists within lots of communities of people about finding that space in between, or that thin space. That space in between everything that has happened and everything that will happen, between the good times, the bad times, the beginnings, the ends, the dark, the light. Because it's in that middle space where we have power. Right? It's very important to unpack what has happened. It's very important to plan for what will be. Yet, very rationally, we have impact in the moment that we are in. Yet, when life happens to us more than it happens through us, we often go, what do I do? And who has the answer? Who has the power? I'm curious, and this is a good calibration. This is from the grounding into the presence part of this, and saying, hey, here is where I am. Knowing where you are is where you are most potent and powerful. So I'm curious. And then we can watch the hands go up and kind of just do a poll. And at home, again, write in the comments one of these 3 things. So I'm going to ask, who found it easiest to go ahead and do the past part of this exercise? Who found it easiest to do the future part of this exercise? And who found it easiest to do the present part of this exercise? Where did the writing, the thinking come easiest? So who found the past to be the easiest part? Go ahead and look around. Okay, who found the future to be the easiest? Yeah, who found the present to be easiest? It's interesting, right? Every single time I do this exercise, there's always a splattering across all. But there's often a leaning in one way. And then we can go, well, why? So there was a larger group who the past was what was the easiest, and then it looked like the present and the future were a little bit less, but equal there. Let's do the opposite of that. So who found which one the hardest? So it's like, wow, this one, nothing was there, or something happened and then it went blank. So past hardest, future hardest, or present hardest. Who found the past to be the hardest part of this exercise? Yes, splattering of hands. Okay, who found the future to be the hardest part of this exercise? Okay, a little bit more, and also the hands went up a little bit faster. Who found the present to be the hardest part of this exercise? Yeah, I'll tell you, 95 out of 100 times when I do this, the present is the one where there's the most animate difficulty. And I think quite often, because we don't really, as a species, as a culture, we don't find a lot of value in going, this is what is true right now. Because what is true right now, if we do this exercise again, you would have a lot of different things in that middle column. Because what is true now may be different than what was true 2 minutes ago. Right? Like your right butt cheek may be falling asleep now, and 2 minutes ago it felt good. So all of a sudden you go, well, now I need to move my legs differently. And all of a sudden, that's how we exist in this present moment. We give ourselves what we need when we need it. Back to Dr. Kasim, right? Today is a day for you to go, what do I need right now? Do I need to go ahead and talk with the people I sat down at the table with and go, I need to have a conversation with this person. I didn't know that was going to be the case until the moment presented. What I invite you to do right now to now ground into this present moment, you're sitting at a table with either people you know or people you don't know, or maybe a mix of both. Spend the next 2 minutes creating some mindful noise here about what this experience was like. I've been like, yeah, it was really interesting. I found the past or the future. 2 minutes right now. Talk amongst the people at your table. If you're online, type into chat, what was this experience like? And then let that live knowing that someone is reading that, right? 2 minutes right now. Talk amongst yourselves at the table. What was curious about this experience? What did you find? Someone else needs your experience right now. Go. All right, everybody. This is the hardest part of my day, having to say, pause your conversations. Because on purpose, I only gave you a couple of minutes, so you would have to go, let's keep talking about this in a little bit when we have a break. I spent a lot of time crafting this idea of enoughness, which pretty much means this. The definition of enoughness is you are already in this moment indeed enough. Here's what the macro culture says. Hey, once you accomplish this, then you will be able to do. And then we always chase that line of once you do X, then you'll be able to do Y. Enoughness simply recalibrates and says, hey, what can you do right now? When we get to that place of what can you do right now, you reclaim your voice, you reclaim your power, and you have to start dealing with the discomfort of knowing that you're going to positively impact someone by being with them, by sharing a thought, by going, hey, I just did this experience, and this was my experience. 100 out of 100 times, that will positively impact someone because it'll either validate what they were thinking in a small way and maybe in a not enoughness mindset, or it'll make them go, wow, I was so set that this was the only pathway forward, and someone else just shared with confidence and clarity and joy a whole different pathway forward, and all of a sudden, opportunity abounds. So thank you for walking in this room today, because you are every single person who enters in this room being, whether you are online or in this space, 124,750 potential one-on-one connections simply exist by you being in this space and going, hey, I'm here, you're here. So what does that mean? What does that do in this moment? I appreciate you. I'm glad that we exist in a world that is spending time, energy, money, resource, talent to go, how do we deal with this ugly beast called cancer? So we can continue to give people a lot of 46% of future based off of really, really colorful, well-earned, hard pasts. But today is your chance to live in that 4% of being in this moment right now. So thank you for being here. Have a good day, everybody.
Thanks for the exercise. Yeah, thanks. Thank you, JC. That was really incredible. It's interesting, the past, present, future thing. From my experience, like I said, I had cancer when I was 7. I think everybody's got, you can use the past and the future, I guess, to motivate yourself, and you can also have it weigh you down, whether what you went through or what might not happen, or what could happen. But I think there's a lot of power in using today, right now, this moment, and changing your perspective to be able to control your future is important. That meant a lot to me. Thank you. Let's hear it one more time for JC.